Okay, so normally I will start thanking for the opportunity to be here, and I certainly thank Susan and the whole organization about this, but also I have to complain about three things. One, it's absolutely unfair that this is the only session in which there's just one person. It is so much better when you're part of a panel, so if you make any mistakes, if you take more time than needed, you can always blame someone else and not just you. The second complaint will be, I'm always excited about technology, and they asked me not to talk about technology, but about leadership. So it's the second complaint. This whole symposium is about technology, which is very exciting, and probably I'll do some comments about technology, but it's not necessarily the topic of the session. And the third one, I'm not really good with time, so and they gave me just 10 minutes. And so I asked someone to be in front of me in order to be able to keep time, because my team, who is sitting there, they are really concerned about that thing that I normally don't do well. So having said that, let me now start with this session that it's about leadership. And leadership in this really, really fast-changing world. I do believe that you as leaders will agree with me that probably these times are the ones in which really things are moving as fast as they are today, and we are being challenged by that. Challenged by things that we have been discussing and will be discussing during the whole symposium. It is a time, also challenging times, because there is so much uncertainty from different perspectives, not just of how fast things are moving, but also from a geopolitical perspective. There is uncertainty, and also about those disruptive technologies that you'll be talking about and we'll be talking about. We don't really know what's gonna happen and what is the impact that this is gonna have in our businesses, no matter in which industry we play. So it is more and more, it's important to understand that as leaders. So I love the idea that this symposium was called Redefining Leadership, because we do have to understand that this is the environment in which we're playing, and we better learn and understand what it's needed. And I'm supposed to, the presentation should be here, so let me go back one, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I received my Bravo award 15 years ago, and it was as technology leader or technology, something like that. And 15 years ago, tried to remember that there was no Uber, no Facebook. So it was really surprising that there was this organization who was giving awards about technology. And probably that I was the only one there who was really related with technology. No one else in the audience or no other guests there were related to technology, as opposed to today. We have here not just different companies that are tech-related from Latin America. There are also companies that are tech-enabled, which is a huge change from that time. It is really encouraging to know that as opposed to those years, today we see Latin America playing in this space, and I believe really playing successfully. We have Mercado Libre or Mercado Pago. We have now Nubank, and we have companies like PepsiCo talking about drones and things like that. So it is a new world, it's a new time, and it's for people that are in this industry like I am. It is really encouraging, and it is also challenging. And I mentioned the different companies that we have here from Latin America, because again, at that time, really, I do believe that the recognition they gave me, or the award, it was really related to what we had been doing for the past 5 years at that time. Because as a tech company from Latin America, that was absolutely unexpected. And what we have done in those early years, it was really opening the doors for Latin America to play in this industry in the US. So it was surprising that there was a company from Latin America from a tech space, and so again, it's great to have these companies here, because we also have in the audience companies that are IT service providers too, which is important. And surprising also, it's not just the companies that are here, but if you take a look at the agenda, for me, it is great to see that most of the sessions are also about technology, but not necessarily the panelists are from the IT space. Most of them are CEOs of different industries from different regions. Yes, we do have Paula, we do have Claudio, we do have people from Microsoft or from SAP or IBM, but take a look at the sessions and you'll see that it is very interesting the role that technology is playing today. It's not the CIOs talking about this, it's not the tech companies talking about this. In every board meeting, they are really trying to understand the impact of this disruption that we're going through, but also in these meetings or at the CEO are trying also to see the way that they can create value through the use of technology. So this is something that is really important, shows how important it is to understand and to really come to all the sessions and see what's going on, because it's very uncommon to see this kind of thing, that CEOs are really being part of this kind of topics and explaining how it has an impact on their own business, which is really great. And now about what they asked me, it's again, they didn't allow me to talk about technology, so I'm gonna be referring to leadership. But also, when you think about leadership, it's not just about leadership as a person, but it's also leadership in the industry in which you play as a company, and to try to see the things that have been important when you have the role of a leader, or when you want to take your company in that leadership position. I'm sure that all of you as leaders have different recipes or ways that you exercise leadership, and probably many suggestions as the kind of things that have been important to have that role of leaders. But I'm the one that's going to present, so I'm going to be focusing on what it has been important, or what we believe has been important in order to have that role. Let me start with skills, and skills that are needed more today than ever. One is agility, again, going back to that uncertainty, going back to how fast the world is moving, thinking about the technologies and the impact that it has. Agility, it's so important that you do move faster than any other company in order to anticipate or to have that value proposition that your client needs, or to be able to understand the dynamic of the labor force today and what those millennials want from you in order to join the company. So one is agility, and the other one is flexibility. Flexibility to adapt to those changes, to be able to transform your own business in order to support your clients in that digital transformation or the changes that they're going through. But what I want to focus in is in values that I believe that we all agree with them. You might have some others, but I do embrace the three values that I'm going to mention, and I would try to relay them to what we've been doing in the past, what I've been doing as the leader of the company that I'm very honored to lead. And let me start with I believe the most powerful one that I have embraced from the very beginning all my life, and that's self-determination. I have never, ever allowed anyone to define what I'm going to do. I don't think things happen by chance or by coincidence. I truly believe that self-determination is what you have in order to achieve whatever you want. It's a kind of commitment that you make in order to achieve that. Because even though, for example, in the case of the company that I lead, it started as a dream, as a very ambitious dream. Immediately, it also translated into a commitment. We didn't allow, or I didn't allow, to probably not being able to follow that dream and make that kind of commitment. A commitment that you have to remind every day, you have to be reminded every day. A commitment that implies that you focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses. I believe that it takes the same time to focus on strengths and identify which are your advantages than to look at those disadvantages that you have. It's a commitment that you have to honor through your life in order to be there. So self-determination, it's absolutely, from our perspective, from my perspective, key in leading any kind of effort, adventure, company, your own life. The second one will be empathy. And empathy, you can see it from different perspectives. You can think of the social perspective. Yes, when we talk about empathy, it's understanding how you feel and relate to your feelings. But it's also, if you look from a business perspective and also as a leader, it's really, first of all, if you're a service company or any company, I do believe that today the company that is able to attract the most brightest talent is the one that is going to be successful. In order to attract them, you have to understand what they expect from you, what they want, what is it that they are aspired to achieve. So one thing is on putting the shoes of the other one. One is the talent. Again, what they want, what they would like, what is attractive for them. The other one is your client. You have to really understand what are the pain points, what is the business they are playing, what are the ways that they need to transform the business in order to create the value that it's needed. So empathy, we have to look at that way. Empathy also to see how you can work together as a team. If you do understand all those things and understand that perspective from empathy, you also understand that it helps with agility. You'll move faster if we all are in the same line, if we understand what each one of us needs. Let me skip this. Obviously, empathy, you can see different examples, not just on a business level. And the third one will be trust. You do have that self-determination. You do understand what it's needed. You do understand what it's needed, your people, your team, your clients, and that allows really flexibility. But you also, even though trust, it's granted, not necessarily earned. It's something that you have to make sure that you keep. And trust, first of all, in yourself. Trust that you give to your team. Trust that your team gives to you in order to go in the direction that all expect. Trust that you have to make sure that you keep from your clients. And it's not just trust that you are someone that is honest. It's really trust that you have the capabilities that are needed to honor the promises that you make. Trust that you will be that flexible. Trust that you have the vision. So understand trust as the things that are needed, the promises that you make in order to honor what you offer and to meet there. When you have that trust, and I know I have 4 seconds, I know, I asked for that timer. Trust, it's also something that you need. I believe that I have made mistakes in my career. As a company, we have stumbled many times. But if you have that trust, it's something that and you have that self-determination that we mentioned, it's something that you can face, and we have faced in the past. Because convincing someone to stay working with you, even do you don't have the money to make the payroll, or going to your clients and say, yes, we're struggling, it's the trust that you build in the past that will allow us to keep moving forward. But trust, in order to really keep it, you always have to be reminded of how to take care of your name. I think your name is with you, and your name should be something that, by name I mean the name, your name or the name of the company, that will really understand what they can expect from you, that they know the way that you're gonna respond, that they know the kind of things that they can do. Last slide. Again, just closing this, because already my 10 minutes are gone. Challenging times that will imply for all of us to understand that ahead we have a continuous evolution. We might have the right value proposition today, but if we do understand that we don't know what kind of technology we're going to have tomorrow, what kind of political system is going to be there, what we need really is to understand that we should embrace that, that we should push for that, and understand that this is the speed at which things are going to keep on moving. So So let me finish with that because I want to keep that promise. I don't know if I was able to share all those experiences, but I hope that what you can keep is there are values that are needed from our perspective that will allow us to make that evolution, and that's that self-determination, that trust, and that empathy. I do believe that if you don't have those values, it's not possible to achieve what you're promising, and skills that we have to build, and that is agility and flexibility. Everything else that I should mention is going to be covered in the following sessions, not in mine, and they have 40 minutes, not 10. That is also unfair. They gave 40 minutes, an hour to all the other sessions, but I hope my team will agree that I took the time they gave me. They were really concerned. They were not concerned about what I was going to say. They were concerned about the time. Thank you so much.